In a gaming landscape dominated by massive $100 million blockbusters and tiny indie passion projects, there's a middle child that often gets overlooked, the AA game. These titles don't always have the marketing budgets of the giants, but they often have more heart, more experimental mechanics, and a willingness to take risks that AAA studios simply won't touch. When Atlas Fallen first arrived, many dismissed it as just another desert-themed action RPG. However, once you actually get your hands on the sand gliding mechanics, the game reveals a surprisingly high-octane soul. It's an AA title that captures the experimental spirit of the PlayStation 2 era, but scales it up with modern particles and scale. The combat system, centered around a momentum gauge that makes your weapons grow larger as you fight, is a brilliant risk versus reward loop. It demands mastery and rewards you with incredible power fantasies. It's a fast, fluid, and visually striking adventure that deserves a second look from any action fan. Guilt spent a long time trapped in platform exclusivity, which kept it away from the audience it truly deserved. Now that it's more widely available, players are discovering a beautifully crafted baby's first Silent Hill that doesn't pull its emotional punches. You play as Sally, navigating a twisted, nightmarish version of her town to find her missing cousin. While the stealth horror mechanics are approachable, the atmosphere is thick, oppressive, and melancholy. It tackles themes of bullying and isolation with more nuance than most blockbuster titles. It's a tight, focused experience that proves you don't need a massive budget to create a haunting world. From the developers at Don't Nod, Juicent is a masterclass in less is more. It's an action puzzle game entirely focused on the physical act of climbing a gargantuan, desolate tower. What makes it better than expected is how it turns simple traversal into a tactile, meditative rhythm. You control each of the protagonist's hands individually, managing your stamina and pitons as you ascend through various biomes. There is no combat, yet the stakes feel incredibly high because of the environmental storytelling and the sheer scale of the vertical world. It is a peaceful yet mechanically deep journey that lingers in your mind long after you reach the summit. Children of the Sun is a darkly stylish, intensely satisfying puzzle shooter that came out of nowhere to impress. It takes a single bullet, a sniper rifle, and a cult, and crafts a series of incredibly clever, multi-layered challenges. The core mechanic is brilliant. You fire one bullet, and after it hits a cultist, you can redirect it to the next target, chaining kills across the environment with precision and planning. Each level feels like a deadly chess puzzle, demanding you visualize the perfect path for your single projectile. It's a game that respects your intelligence, offering a unique blend of tactical thinking and visceral action, wrapped in a distinct visual style. The highly anticipated follow-up to a beloved indie classic, Hyper Light Breaker, arrived with a mix of excitement and skepticism, given its pivot to a 3D roguelite experience. However, it quickly proves to be far more than just a genre shift. It retains the striking aesthetic and mysterious lore of its predecessor while introducing incredibly fluid movement and combat. The sense of discovery as you explore the shifting worlds is palpable, and the sheer variety of weapons, abilities, and build possibilities keeps each run fresh. It's an ambitious leap that largely sticks the landing, delivering an exhilarating, stylish, and challenging adventure that continually rewards repeat play.
From the creators of the critically acclaimed Gris, Neva is another stunning testament to emotional storytelling through art and sound. It's an atmospheric adventure where you control a young woman named Alba, bound to a magnificent wolf companion. The game explores their evolving relationship and codependence as they navigate a decaying world. The puzzles are elegant, often requiring seamless cooperation between Alba and her wolf, and the platforming is graceful. What makes it truly shine is its ability to convey a powerful narrative without dialogue, relying on breathtaking animation, evocative music, and the intimate bond between its protagonists. It's a beautiful, melancholic, and deeply moving experience. Wanted Dead is an unapologetically rough-around-the-edges action game that many dismissed for its perceived jankiness, but those who pushed past its initial presentation found a hidden gem. It's a love letter to the character action games and B-movies of the PlayStation 2 era, combining fast-paced sword combat, over-the-top gunplay, and a bizarre, charmingly disjointed story. The sheer spectacle of its limb-severing finishers and the quirky minigames like karaoke and ramen eating give it a unique personality. It's a game with heart, delivering a surprisingly fun and challenging combat system that revels in its own absurdity. Coming from the team behind This War of Mine, The Altars is a high-concept survival game that is way more personal than it looks. You play as Jan, a simple worker stranded on a hostile planet. To survive, you must use a local substance to create altars, alternate versions of yourself from timelines where you made different life choices. What makes this better than expected is the emotional weight. You aren't just managing clones, you're managing your own regrets. Each Jan has a unique personality and skill set, and keeping them from spiraling into an existential crisis while the base literally rolls away from a lethal sun is a brilliant, stressful, and deeply moving experience. Still Wakes the Deep takes the walking sim horror genre and elevates it to terrifying new heights through sheer atmosphere and incredible acting. Set on a Scottish oil rig in the 1970s, you play an ordinary electrician named Kaz who is trapped as a cosmic horror begins to consume the structure. There is no combat here, but the game is better than expected because of its grounded realism. The oil rig feels like a living, groaning character, and the monsters aren't just faceless aliens, they're your former crewmates, still murmuring in their local dialects. It is a masterclass in pacing that proves AA horror can feel more next-gen than most AAA blockbusters. Taking the top spot is Astral Chain, a Platinum Games masterpiece that many overlooked simply because it was a new IP on the Switch. It's better than expected because it reinvents the action genre with its synergetic combat system. You control both the human detective and a tethered creature called a Legion simultaneously. Using the literal chain between you to trip enemies or wrap them up feels tactile and incredibly rewarding. Between the high-octane fights, you're actually doing detective work, investigating crime scenes and interviewing NPCs in a vibrant, neon-soaked cyberpunk world. It's a stylish, mechanical marvel that stands as one of the best action games ever made. The beauty of the AA space is that it keeps the industry honest. These games prove that you don't need a 1,000-person team or a decade of development time to create an experience that stays with a player long after the credits roll. Whether it's the quiet, meditative climb of Jusant or the chaotic dual-control combat of Astral Chain, each of these titles punched well above its weight class and delivered something truly special. If you're tired of the same old formulas, any of these 10 games are well worth your time.